Hello students, I hope you all are doing well. In the previous video, we started with a new lesson in civics, that is, the United Nations, and we completed part A of the lesson. Now in today's video, we'll complete the remaining portion of the lesson. So before starting, let's have a quick recap of what we had already studied. So let's begin. The United Nations is an international organization which represents practically every nation of the world. It came into existence on 24th of October 1945, and this day is celebrated every year as United Nations Day. Then we studied some of the aims of United Nations, like to save the succeeding generations from war, to reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights, to maintain international peace and security, to develop friendly relations among nations. Then we did certain principles to achieve the aims, like the basis of the organization shall be equality of all its member states. Then the member states shall fulfill their obligations honestly according to the Charter of the UNO. All the member states shall solve their mutual problems through peaceful means, and states will not use force in solving their mutual problems. Then we studied some of the facts about the UNO. We studied about the membership of the UN, that all peace-loving nations of the world can become its members. Then English and French are the common used languages in UNO. Then the UNO is financed by the contributions made by its member states, and the headquarters of UNO is at Manhattan High Island, New York, USA, and the flag of UNO. Then we studied about the organs of the UN, and there are six principal organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice, and the Secretariat. And from these, we did first four. And the first one is the General Assembly. It is said to be the Parliament of the UNO. It supervises the work of other organs of the UN and admits new members to the UNO on the recommendation of the Security Council. Then the Security Council consists of 15 members, and there are 5 permanent members, and 10 members are elected for a term of 2 years, or and they are elected on a regional basis. Then the function of the Security Council is to maintain peace and security. And there are other functions also, like it recommends the admission of new members to the UNO. Then it elects the judges of International Court of Justice concurrently with the General Assembly. Then we studied about the Economic and Social Council. Now it consists of 54 member nations elected by the General Assembly, and the main function of the council is to promote economic and social cooperation among the member states of the UN. Then we studied about the Trusteeship Council. Then the main objective of the Trusteeship Council is to safeguard the interests of those territories which are not yet fully self-governing. So this much was the recap portion. Now today we'll study the two other organs of the UN. So we'll start up with the International Court of Justice. This is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations, located at The Hague, Netherlands, Holland. The court has 15 judges from different countries representing various systems of law. The judges are elected by the General Assembly and the Security Council for a term of 9 years. No two judges can be from the same country. The court elects its own president after every 3 years. The International Court of Justice settles disputes between the member states of the United Nations. Even private citizens have the right to approach the court whenever they have a grievance against another state. The decisions of the court are binding upon the parties in a case. Besides, the court may give advisory opinion on legal questions referred to by the General Assembly or the Security Council. Then the next organ is the Secretariat. Now it is in charge of all administrative works. Its headquarters are at New York, and the Secretary General is the Chief Executive Officer of the UN, elected by the UN members for a term of 5 years. The personnel of the Secretariat are recruited from all over the world. Attempts are made to have a balanced representation from all regions and countries. The Secretary General holds a key position in the administration of the affairs of the UNO. He organizes conferences, drafts reports, makes correspondence, registers treaties, and prepares budget estimates. Antonio Guterres is the current UN Secretary General. And here you can see the picture of Antonio Guterres. Next, we'll study about some of the specialized agencies of the UNO. Now, besides these six organs, there are some other specialized agencies which are assigned specific responsibilities in the field of health, education, science, trade, culture, labor force, and human rights. And these are United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, that is UNESCO. United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, that is UNICEF. Then World Health Organization, that is WHO. Then the International Labour Organization, ILO. Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. The International Monetary Fund, IMF. So we'll study about them in detail one by one. So we'll start up with UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. The UNESCO came into existence on 4th of November 1946. It has a General Assembly of its own, which consists of all the member states of the UNO. It has a Secretariat of its own, which works under a Director General. Its headquarters are at Paris. It has a 50-member executive body elected by its own General Assembly. Then the work of UNO is to educate millions of people, whether they are young or old, and to spread scientific knowledge. It provides experts in various fields of education to the member states in order to solve their problems in this field. It also arranges teacher exchange programs under which teachers learn new ideas and techniques to handle their teaching effectively. Here you can see the symbol of UNESCO and the headquarters of UNESCO. So the next agency is United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF. It was established in 1946 after the World War II to meet emergency needs of children in war-torn Europe. It arranges for nutritious diet for the younger generations of the world. It also provides medical aid and medicines for the benefit of the children, especially of underdeveloped and developing countries of the world. It provides help to the children of the member states at the time of national calamities like floods, eruptions of volcanoes, earthquakes, etc. Now, UNICEF celebrated the International Year of Child in 1979. Universal child immunization against preventable diseases by 1990 was one of the major goals of the UNICEF. And here you can see the symbol of UNICEF. Next we'll study about World Health Organization, WHO. Now it was established in 1948. It has its headquarters in Geneva, and the main purpose of this organization is to promote health in the entire world. WHO has done substantial work for promotion of public health and fighting diseases like cholera, typhoid, malaria, smallpox, and AIDS, and recently for coronavirus also. A number of WHO doctors and nurses have trained our medical personnel and awarded scholarship to students to go abroad to study advanced medical technology. It promotes health education among the masses so that they are able to fight diseases more effectively and control them. And here you can see the symbol of WHO. The next agency is the International Labour Organization, ILO. Now, ILO was established in 1919. It was earlier affiliated with the League of Nations. It was revived again in 1946 as a specialized agency of the United Nations. It has its headquarters at Geneva. It strives to improve social and economic conditions of the laborers and workers by improving their living standards, stopping the exploitation of women and children, and settling disputes between the entrepreneurs and laborers. It promotes peace through social justice. And here you can see the symbol of ILO. The next agency is Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. Now, FAO came into existence on 16th of October 1945. Its headquarters are at Rome in Italy. Its major concern is to develop agriculture and thus increase agricultural production. Freedom from Hunger campaign was started by the FAO. It helps to increase the agricultural produce by giving financial aid, by providing the latest machines and better seeds, and by lending the services of specialists, etc. The experts of FAO are carrying on research in fishery, forestry, and agriculture, thereby raising agricultural output and raising the standard of living. And here you can see the symbol of FAO. Next, we'll study about the International Monetary Fund, which is another agency of the UNO. It is also known as IMF. Now, every country has its own currency, which cannot be used in international transactions. And for that purpose, an international exchange currency is required. In international trade, four currencies have been recognized as reliable exchange media. They are the pound sterling of Great Britain, the ruble of Russia, the dollar of USA, the euro among European countries. The other currencies of the world have to maintain an exchange value in relation to these currencies. The IMF helps in this exchange. It undertakes the buying and selling of gold in the international market. It also helps the member states in the event of monetary difficulties through the World Bank. The International Monetary Fund has its headquarters at Washington. And here you can see the symbol of IMF. Next, we'll study about the achievements of the UN. The UN has helped countries which were under foreign rule to become independent. The UN strongly opposed the policy of apartheid in South Africa by imposing sanctions. Now, policy of apartheid is a policy that governed relations between South Africa's white minority and non-white majority and sanctioned racial segregation and political and economic discrimination against non-whites. Next, the UN make efforts to prevent human rights violations. Next one is the UN has helped bringing peace to countries engaged in conflicts. Then it promotes the use of nuclear energy for peaceful purposes and works for disarmament. With this, we come to an end of our lesson. I hope all of you have understood it well. Kindly refer to the video again for a better understanding. And I'll be sending you the question answers and exercises. Question answers to be done in the notebook, exercises to be done in the textbook. And kindly complete your work. And do take care of yourselves and have a nice day. Thank you.